Yeah, my son Darcy and myself, we had the shed built quite some time ago. A huge working area. I love making things and playing around in the shed, and never really had anything as such to work on as a hobby and a project. And then I got given a Beetle, a Volkswagen Beetle, which is something I'd had in my previous life back in the UK. And yeah, from there I had something to work with and work to. And I love drag racing and always loved the drag scene. Loved the Californian stuff and the air-cooled drag racing. Loved all that, and Hot VW's magazines, articles and all the drags at Irwindale and places. Then we had a chance to go to California, and me and Darcy went to Irwindale on a Thursday night, and yeah, fantastic. And yeah, came back, and this project that already had started then evolved into a drag project. But the enthusiasm hasn't waned, and we're both into it, and we do all bits and pieces together on it, and it's been great. It can be a little bit cheesy in that art, talking about your shed and what it means to you, I think, but we spend a lot of time out here together doing stuff, and it's not just somewhere to hang out. We're doing things. I guess that's what I like about it, I suppose, is because Darcy's with me too. The shed has cemented a relationship, I guess, with my son. Yeah, we're always doing things together at weekends. I mean, he's just asked me to if I want to go to a bike race next weekend, which I was a little bit amazed at, really. And I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
To me, a shed is as much about a state of mind as it is actually a place to be. So pretty much wherever I've been in the past, I've probably always had something that you could sort of call a shed. It's a place for me to come and just sort of chill out, get away from things. I'm just a wannabe woodworker, quite honestly. Recently bought the wood lathe, and at this point I'm just learning how to use the tools, and the thing I do best is make mulch. But it's actually, I find it really enjoyable just to come out and learn how it is that the tools cut and how they work. And when I feel like I'm getting better with making one of those things work, it's actually quite satisfying. Somewhere along the line, I just started saving the bottles, as much for the bottle art in some cases as for the beer that was inside. There's plenty of them up there that the beer is probably pretty shocking, but I like the label. You know, a wall of beer bottles just kind of seems to fit the ambience of what my shed's about. I've recently created a device to propel marshmallows at a fairly high rate of speed. Something as simple as a marshmallow moving at 450 kilometers an hour. It's gloriously messy, it's noisy, it's over very fast. I have the good fortune of having access to a camera that will shoot 8,000 to 10,000 frames a second, which lets me slow down fast events and turn them into things that are a little bit more visually poetic. To me, I think very often it's not so much what I'm making as it is that I'm making something. I think that's really just an important part of the whole thing, is that I'm doing something with my hands, I'm doing something that keeps my mind occupied, and something that gives me some sense of pleasure and accomplishment.
My shed is where I come to play with my lovely piece of work, my 59 FC ute. The ute's got a fair bit of meaning to me. It's a lot of sentimental value. 20 years ago or so, my brother and my father started restoring it. They replaced the floors, did work to it. Then they found another FB ute, which was, you know, more drivable, and then that became my brother's ute, and my father still drives that to this day. He's a real shed man. He restores cars and restores everything else. He's an auto electrician by trade. He lives in his shed. Unfortunately, my brother passed away in the year 2000, and you know, it's a lot of sentimental value to me to, you know, just go cruising with my brother. I'm going to love having my ute when it's finished. This particular car means more than any other car to me. I'll never get rid of it. It'll always be in my shed. For me to come into my shed it does give me a place to escape to. I can pull the doors down and turn the music up, and I can do whatever I want to do. And then my kids come in, and that's just ace for me. My kids mean the world to me. I'm actually a 7th generation carpenter, builder in my family. I'm always looking at challenging myself and being better tomorrow. I took the challenge of becoming a carpenter because I love working with timber, and now I'm challenging myself to restore this. It's a place that I need to come and have my own time and be me.
I decided I needed a man cave. Everybody needs a space to relax and go and do something, get away from the wives, the kids. Not that they're bad, but you still need a bit of time by yourself, and a lot of stuff laying around, and you know, it just makes you feel good. The boys come over for a few beers, and you know, if something breaks or falls over, the wife doesn't yell at you, and everybody's happy. Just started with something small, and the wife sort of came to me one day and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, just a bit of man space type thing." And she sort of turned a blind eye to it. The next thing you know, we ended up with a great big thing we've got today. The space is a man space, but if you ask my family, it's a family space. But there is a sign on the door which says, you know, men only, but they're more than welcome. I've got a few plans for the man cave. Outside, we've got a bit of a pergola going to happen, and a bit of a garden, a barbecue area. I did want to put a spa at the other end, walking out on a little deck, but powers that be, she inside has said no, so that's the end of that. My dad's got his own space down the bottom of the garden where that's his outlet. His birds are his thing. My thing is footy and cards and beers, and I suppose that he's got his space and we've got my space, but he comes over all the time and drinks my beer out of my fridge, so his birds aren't that good to him. The man cave means a bit of, it's got a lot of me in it. Love the footy, we love the cards, my mates love coming over, watch the telly and just talk rubbish. It's not a look at me type thing, it's a door's always open, and if anyone's got a problem, we can have a few beers and nut it out, game of darts, put the fire on. Just a bit of, you know, relaxing time, and you need to get away and shut the rest of the world out, and that's what it's about.
Started off just by complete accident, playing around with the bikes. There's a lady down the road that had 3 boys, hasn't got any money at all, and anyway, we donated some bikes. I was given some bikes because they thought that maybe they could use them up the road. So this is virtually how it started off. I did the bikes up and gave them to the kids down the road and thought, this is fantastic, you know, just to see the smile on the kid's face. And I thought I could do this, so that's how it started. I approached a lot of the bike shops in the area. Yarra Valley Cycles in Leedale was my biggest sponsor. They'll ring me up 2 or 3 times a month and say, look, we've got some bikes here, do you want to pick them up? But they're very happy to turn around to their clients to say, no, we don't take trade-ins, but we've got a charity that we can give them to. And that charity's me, so they give them to me. So yeah, it's great. It's great, so I get a lot that way. Oh yeah, look, I donate them to the kids because that's the only reason I do it. I wouldn't do it for any other reason. We go through a lot of schools. We give them a form saying, look, if you've got any kids at school that would like a bike or something like that, we're too happy to help. Believe it or not, we get quite a lot of people ringing up and say, look, you know, little Tommy never had a bike in his life, would love a bike. And that's how it happens. It's a great place that I can come out and lose hours and fiddle around with the bikes, and I love it. I just love working on the bikes, fiddling with them. I think there's a time that everyone needs to get away and do something, and it's just a way of completely, utterly relaxing. I hope to be out here for many, many years to come. There's a lot of kids out there that need bikes, and as long as they need bikes, I'll keep repairing them and I'll keep giving them to them because it's just fantastic.
Well, for me, the shed's just, it's a place to come and shut the door and just shut the world out, really. And tinker with stuff I love. I get away from everything and everybody. No telephone, there's only me. It's a place you can come and think about something that you normally wouldn't do in the house, something. Too much noise, too much TV, and in here there's nothing but me. Stink of oil and grease, and a few metal shavings off the lathe, and that keeps me happy. It started about 1963, 64. I sort of restored AGS and matchless motorcycles. That's been my sort of field of speciality, if you like, ever since I've been into bikes. Over the years, I've done about 6. It takes a long time because you start off with bits and pieces and build them up. That's the fun of it, really. My son, he has his own shed, which has got 2 bikes in it, so... Well, he's claimed 2 of them anyway, so we swap over. If he wants one, I'll give him one, and we'll all ride them together, sort of thing. So, mainly the red one's mainly his, but I've pinched it for a while. So, we want the younger ones to take it up because a lot of them not interested. And if they don't take an interest in it, it's going to go. So, as old fogies, they've probably had their time, really, you know. But hopefully, they'll continue.